Hello, happy Math Monday. Today we're going to review how to add large numbers using columns. So let's have two large numbers. Say we have 346 and we want to add that to 252. Let's think first about how these numbers are put together, what they're made out of. To do that, we have to review place values. So 346 is made with 6 ones, 4 tens, and this isn't just any old 3, this is actually 3 hundreds. Let me make sure that's not off the screen. No, of course not. All right, so 346, 3 hundreds, or 300, 4 tens, which is actually 40, and 6 ones, which is just plain old 6. This is called expanded notation, and that's when you take these digits and expand them out based on what place value they're in. 252 also has ones, tens, and hundreds. Right? 2 ones, 5 tens, which is the 50, and 2 hundreds, which is the 200. So let's collect these place values together into columns. And we're going to do that by lining these numbers up at the right. So let's draw a blue line here. That'll be the right side of our problem. So we have 346. And 252. See how I line those up at the right? I even started writing the right digit first. Okay, so now we see we have our ones together in a column, our tens together in a column, and our hundreds together in a column. Ones, tens, hundreds. How many ones do we have all together then? 6 ones plus 2 ones gives us 8 ones. 4 tens plus 5 tens, we have 9 tens all together. 3 hundreds plus 2 hundreds, that gives us 5 hundreds all together. So 346 plus 252, if we rewrite it vertically like this, making sure they're lined up with the ones, the tens, and the hundreds together, that lets us get our answer of 598. And that would work the same way if you had a problem with 4 digits. So let's say instead of 346, this was 4,346. And instead of 252, it was 1,252. Let's make another column here. And that'll be for our thousands. So 4,346 and 1,252. When we add them up, we had 8 ones, 9 tens, still 500 still. Of course, we didn't change those numbers. But then 4,000 plus 1,000, that's 5,000. So 4,346 plus 1,252 equals 5,598. Now this method, or thinking of them as columns, comes in especially handy when you are adding more than 2 numbers together. So say you had 348 plus 261 plus 570 plus 122. So we want to add all those together. let's think of where the right side of our problem is going to be. And let's think of where our columns are going to be. We're going to need a ones column, a tens column, and a hundreds column. Now, if drawing these lines helps you, do it. Okay, so we have 348. Since I have these lines drawn in, I'll just start writing from the left like usual. 348, 261, 570, and 122. Let's add these up. I'm actually going to move these out of the way a little bit. Put this up here. I'll just leave them off. We know that's our ones, tens, and hundreds by now. Okay. If we have 8 ones, 1 1, and 2 ones, how many ones is that all together? 8, 9, 10, 11. But I can't just write 11 here. 11 ones, that's actually a 10 and a 1, right? So this is where regrouping comes in. So 11 is made out of a 1 and a 10. So we're going to leave this 1 digit here, and we're going to carry our 10 digit to the next column. We're saving it for this next step because we want to group that with the rest of these 10s. And again, adding, you can add in whatever order you want. I'm going to add the 4 and the 6 together first because I know that makes 10. So 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 7 is 17, 18, 19, and then don't forget this up top, that makes 20. Well, again, I can't just write 20 here. 20 is made up of a 1 and a 10. Now, that might seem confusing to you because this is our tens columns, right? So this is actually 20 tens. So you could even think of this as being 0 in the tens and 2 in the hundreds, but I'm probably confusing you right now. Just do the same thing you did before. You leave the 0, and you're going to save the 2 for later. You're going to put it next door. You can only fit 1 digit in a column. So now let's add these up. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. One last time, you can't just write 13 there. You only 1 digit per column. We leave the 3 and carry the 1 over for later. But we're done. There's nothing to put it above, right? There's nothing here, so you can just write it in the next column. The more numbers you add together, the more likely you are to have to carry over or regroup into the column next door. Okay. So 348 plus 261 plus 570 plus 122, that all equals 1,301. So thinking of them in the columns and making sure they're all lined up helps immensely, helps a great deal. Now, when is this method the most helpful? That's when you have numbers of various lengths, different sized numbers. So let's say we want to add 3,462 plus 240 plus 3 plus 27. We have a 4-digit number, a 3-digit number, a 1-digit number, and a 2-digit number. Let's think of where the right side of our problem is going to be. And then, just to help us write these out, we're going to draw our columns again. There's our ones. There's our tens. There's our hundreds. And this is where our thousands will go. Okay. So, you can write these in here in whichever order you like. I tend to like to write them from biggest to smallest in terms of length. This is the longest number. It's in the thousands. It's 4 digits, so I'm going to write that first. 3, 4, 6, 2. 3,462. Here's the 3-digit number. We'll write that one next. 240. And if we had drawn this one here and then this one, we have a hole here. See that? So my brain just likes to flip those. Again, it's adding. We can add in whatever order we want to. So 27 we'll write first, and then we'll write our 3. And then we're going to add these all up. So again, we have our ones grouped together, our tens grouped together, our hundreds grouped together, and our thousands grouped together. The wrong way to write this would have been this way. This isn't 3 thousands, this was just 3 ones. Why would we add it with the thousands? We would want it with the ones. So never ever line your numbers up on the left. Always keep your place values together. I almost forgot the word for a second. Line them up on the right. So let's see how many ones we have all together. 2, 0, 7, 3. We're going to add them all up. 2 plus 0 is 2. Plus 7 is 9. Plus 3 is 10, 11, 12. Put our 2. Again, we need to put the 1 next door because we can't fit it in here and we can't just write it there. We have to put it up top because we want to add it in with all these. I'm going to do the 6 and the 4 first because that makes 10. 10, 11, 12. Don't forget this. That makes 13. Again, the 1 needs to come next door. We'll put it up top to add it in with the others. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 2 is 6, 7. And then 3. Oh, I forgot to note. Where these holes are, you can think of those as being zeros. I imagine them as zeros, but if you want to write them as zeros, that's fine too. Again, whatever works for you, do it. So 3 thousands. How many thousands do we have all together? Just the 3 of them. So 3,462 plus 240 plus 3 plus 27 equals 3,732. So one last time, line all your numbers up to the right so you can collect your ones to add together, your tens get added together, your hundreds, your thousands, and so on. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I will answer them. All right, thanks for watching.